Hi, this is Leo Nero, and today I'm not under a blanket, and we're talking about Astrology 101. So, astrology, I don't even like the word, right? I don't like those words that start with ass, like astronaut and astronomy. What we're really talking about is cosmology, the physics of light, high physics. High, because, we're taught low and they're divided, so you got to put a word to it in English, so we're moving forward. All right? Astrology has been given a very bad name for people who aren't taught it, who don't look into it for themselves, who don't naturally see what the hell is going on and believe what they see in the mainstream on the surface level. I think astrology is horoscopes in the newspaper, or a 976-900 line, or a click on a website that says they're psychic and they're going to tell you how to make money, or who loves you or not, or what job to take, right? But this really is a small aspect, and those people are mostly lying to you, and it's garbage, and people know that. Okay, real astrology, okay, has to do with the planets, the ecliptic, the zodiac, why they're named that, uh, why the names of the days of the week, and the Roman and Greek mythologies, and how light comes into Earth, this world. Okay, so I got to throw a dart on where to start. Okay, zodiac. Most people know what the zodiac is, right? There's 12 astrology signs that are in the ecliptic out of the 88 constellations. They're in the ecliptic where the sun and the moon are seen with the background of the stars and the earth, right? The sun and the moon stay within those 12 constellations throughout every year. Why 12? Aren't we just playing connect the dots? Well, back to the Kabbalah 101 videos I was talking about, you go to geometry and you look at everything as a torus. So the earth, like all the planets and everything else, is a torus. So there's a vortex in the middle, a void. So that would be 13, and there's 12 spheres around it. Now they say there's 8 or 9 planets. Well, we'll show how that's actually 13, and the 12 constellations and how that all works together. Now, for Kabbalah and the Tree of Life, as I was talking about before, and for astrology, the main place to go is geocentric, Earth-centric charts when you're talking about this, like the Tree of Life, where the 10th Sephiroth at the bottom is Earth. And a question comes up, it's like, well, what if you're on Mars? What if you're on the Moon? What if you're on Jupiter, right? What would the Tree of Life look like then? Well, you could figure out how it would look different with their moons and everything attributed to it, and go there and find out what it's like, right? Because how do we know? We just don't know what the different levels of gravity fluctuation and how light comes in there and what's going on. So we concern ourselves with what's going on here. And of course, what works. So you make a circle with the ecliptic around the Earth and you divide it by 12, okay? And you can line it up to the constellations, and you'll see there are patterns that line up. And this is where the difference between what's called sidereal, which the Vedics use, and the tropical astrology, which is used mainly in the West, come in. Now you'll find if you go to a website or a book, you look up, what you identify with will be the tropical, not the sidereal placements of the planets in terms of what's going on today or what's going on in your natal chart. The tropical is to do with the light from the sun to the earth. So that's from the sun, Mercury, Venus, the moon, and Earth specifically, with the reflections off the other planets. Okay? It's how the light from the sun affects us here, which is why the go-to is, oh, when were you born? Where was the sun on the day you were born? Me, I'm a August 19th Leo, so it's at 26 degrees of tropical Leo, which is 1 degrees of sidereal Leo. So when you're born, when you exit the womb, when you exit the test tube or the cloning facility or the portal or however you got here, you have an imprint of this is your arrival. This is the first moment you exist in this place. That moment, before that, you did not exist, and from this moment on, here you are. That's your starting point. And to triangulate yourself, right, to get an idea of what's going on, you look at what was on the eastern horizon, the sun and the moon, to get those three things together to figure out the best idea of what energies you're going to be dealing with throughout your life. And a common question is, well, how does all of this matter? Because if I don't know it, my life still goes on. Right. Well, astrology is like the currents in a river. We're floating through the river, and the currents are the way the light comes in here, and that's dealing with the electromagnetic spectrum that we're dealing with, and the way every day feels a little bit different, and how things progress throughout your life, and how things change. So, if you know astrology, or if you're aware of it or not, you're riding the currents and moving forward through time, against your will. So we'll wrap this up with talking about the 13th sign, which a lot of people reject and think it's from pop or something like that. Well, if you look at the constellations, the 88 agreed on constellations, you'll see that there are 13 of them that the sun, the moon, and stars move through in the ecliptic. The 13th one is Ophiuchus, and it's around the galactic center of the Milky Way. And there is a difference in that part of space. So if you want to think of Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, and all this and that has no meaning whatsoever, then fine, but you're still going to find, when you look at tropical Sagittarius there, you're going to find that there is a difference there. And that is also the end part of Scorpio in terms of the constellations. And Scorpio is the entire story of the zodiac. Scorpio is governed by Pluto, as I talked about before, the fall of light and what's going on here. So that's part one. Part two coming up.